Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Going to be talking about every movie and show I watched last week, and I had a pretty solid week, a pretty busy week. Watched lots of things, one season of TV, and I believe 15 or 16 movies. I don't even remember. Yeah, I mean, let's hop right into it, starting it off with the one and only season of TV, which is season 2 of X-Men 97, which I watched season 1 last week while I was going through all the X-Men movies, and I did start season 2, but didn't get to finish it until today, actually. It was a pretty busy week, and Austin and I were watching it together, so yeah, it was a good season. I don't love the second season as much as the first season. I think the first season is more enjoyable, but there's some really amazing moments throughout season two. Oh, Betty, oh, she fell. She jumped up on me and then she fell. My poor girl. Poor girl. She didn't have a grip, I don't think. Oh, my Betty. Anyways, yeah, the bright side about season two, though, was that it introduced me to Polaris, who honestly I didn't even know existed um, until I guess last week. I've never heard of Polaris, and I absolutely fell in love with Polaris watching this show. She's an icon, and yeah. Anyways, let's get on with the movie. Starting it off with my least favorite, which is a 2026 movie, which is Over Your Dead Body, which I ranked at 55 out of 100. A cute little action rom com, basically. It's not too bad. It's nothing special. It's totally okay. Kind of falls around where a lot of my 2026 movies have been ranked, which is that like 2 to 3 star rating. It falls in between that with the 2.5. So yeah. Let's move on to The Longest Yard, which is the original, the 1974 original Longest Yard, which I ranked at 59 out of 100. It's more of like a sports drama than the Adam Sandler comedy, which we'll talk about later on in this video, but it's definitely not bad. The characters aren't as noticeable as Sandler's movie either, but nonetheless, I think it's a decent movie. I think it's okay. It's enjoyable for what it is, but yeah, 59 out of 100. Let's move on to Blue Steel, which I ranked a 60 out of 100. Pretty interesting cop thriller, I would say, and yeah, Jimmy Lee Curtis is pretty good in this, but Ron Silver definitely kind of steals the show in this. I find he's really great in this movie. His portrayal of a, I guess, just a deranged man really is quite chilling, but it's quite solid. I enjoyed that and ranked it a 60 out of 100. Let's move on to Inside Llewyn Davis, which I only learned when I started this movie a couple days ago that it's not called Inside Llewellyn Davis. I always thought it was Llewellyn. I'm just fucking stupid though. It's Llewyn Davis, and this is a decent movie. It's really got such a unique and distinct indie folk vibe, which was a vibe. I didn't mind that at all. I thought it was kind of a good vibe, especially the start of it. I learned that Oscar Isaac can sing, which I didn't know. And yeah, I mean, it's a solid movie. Shout out to the cats in this movie. And yeah, I mean, folk music's not really my cup of tea for the most part. Maybe more of like a Noah Kahn folk than like some, I'll say, I guess, like actual old, like, oldies folk music, which isn't really for me. But again, this movie is just kind of a vibe and it's fun. So, ranked at a 65 out of 100. Let's move on to Exit 8, which is a foreign film and ranked at a 68 out of 100. It does kind of give Backrooms vibes, but not as good. But one thing that I liked about Exit 8 that I didn't really like about um, the Backrooms is the ending. I thought the ending in Exit 8 was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. Didn't love the ending of the Backrooms. The ending of the Backrooms just left more questions than answers, which I do appreciate sometimes in a horror film, but that one I don't appreciate it in. And Exit 8 is kind of ambiguous as well, but I enjoy the ending far more. And really, I mean, this is an interesting video game that I've never played, but I've watched clips of. I only learned about it when this movie gained some popularity earlier this year, but yeah, I mean, I ranked it a 68 out of 100. I think it's a decent movie. It held my interest, and I think it's interesting as well. And yeah, a little bit worse than Backrooms in my opinion, but kind of similar liminal space thriller vibes. So let's move in. Let's move in. Let's move on to The Hurt Locker, which I ranked a 70 out of 100. A good action war film, um, really focused on like bomb diffusing. I don't. I'm sure there's probably an actual word for that or term for that I don't know or I don't remember. But yeah, I think it's an entertaining movie. I don't find those sequences of Jeremy Renner's character diffusing these bombs to be entirely thrilling. Like they're interesting, but I don't ever feel like I never felt like I was on the edge of my seat while watching them happen. So, you know, it is what it is, but ranked it a solid 70 out of 100 for that 3.5 star. Let's move on to Courageous, which was a recommendation by my friend Mark. And Mark is a religious man, he's a father, and that's what this movie is. It's really a question, maybe not going to question, but it really focuses on faith and family, especially fatherhood. And being a father and struggling, not maybe not struggling, but going through the motions of faith, which I don't know if I'll ever be a man of faith or a father. Who knows? I haven't been. Maybe I will someday. I really don't know. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting movie. Definitely not the greatest acting, I'll say, but the average rating for this movie is like a 2.8. It's really all over the place. It seems pretty polarizing. I enjoyed it, and it's one of Mark's favorite movies, or at least favorite Christian movies. He did tell me that a lot of Christian movies have gotten better over the past 15 years. So shout out, Mark. I know you're watching this, but ranked it a 72 out of 100. I think it's a good movie. Let's move on to The Mule, directed by Clint Eastwood. And I love Clint Eastwood. One of my goals last year was to go through Clint's filmography. I never got to The Mule. There's still a few of his films I would like to watch at some point, but ranked it a 75 out of 100. I think it's a good movie. It's interesting. I like seeing Clint as a drug mule. I think it's kind of funny. And ultimately, I had a good time with this movie as well. And another family movie. We get lots of family movies this week for whatever reason. So 75 out of 100 for The Mule. And let's move on to Together, which I watched with Tristan, and Tristan and I had a great time watching this movie. We got about 10 minutes in, and we were experiencing the craziest thunderstorms. Our power flickered, or my power flickered, I guess. And it was crazy. It was absolutely insane. It literally, there was a couple of thunder strikes that like genuinely was shaking our apartment building. It was insane. I've never felt anything like it. And my poor kitty, my poor Betty was so scared. She seemed so frightened and on edge because of it. I felt so bad. But anyways, the movie was solid. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm sad I never get to see this in theaters last year. I did want to, I just never did. And I'm glad I did get to watch it because it's like total nightmare fuel. If anybody ever asked for like nightmare fuel movies, this is definitely going to be one of I would recommend. It's gory. It's got really unique body horror, or I find it's unique. And I mean, it's a pretty decent story as well that I got invested in and I enjoyed. So together, I ranked an 81 out of 100. Now let's move on to Toy Story 5, which Mel and I went to go see in theaters. We were supposed to go on a double date, but the couple bailed on us because they fell asleep. They had a nap. So, anyways, Mel and I watched this together. Mel said like 4 times during the movie that she was liking it, but she would have rather to go see Paw Patrol the Dino movie. So anyways, I ranked in an 84 out of 100, which is a big jump from my, I believe, previous 73 or something out of 100. So a big jump. Now my third favorite in the franchise as well. I don't really know what I was thinking this was the worst of the franchise, but yeah, with a rewatch, I really enjoyed it. It hit a little bit harder. I love the Buzz subplot. It's just a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a great movie. I ranked it at 84 out of 100. It jumped up my 2026 list quite a lot. So that's very awesome. Now we can move into the top five, which let's start off with The Longest Yard, which I ranked in 85 out of 100. I love this movie. I really love this movie. It's so funny, and these characters are distinct in their own way. I love it. And the end, the final football game is really a lot of fun. And this is the first time Mel ever watched it. I got to show it to her. She loved it. Well, I wouldn't say she loved it, but she liked it. She enjoyed it. And yeah, I mean, we had a great time watching it together. So, ranked it an 85 out of 100, which brings us to another Adam Sandler movie, which is one of my favorites, which is Click, which I ranked an 86 out of 100. The last time I watched this movie, I ranked it a 90 out of 100, and it did go down a little bit. Definitely a couple of jokes that are a little bit stale, but this movie hit in a very different way for me this time. Last time I watched this movie, I felt kind of lone. I felt very lonely. I felt sad, alone, depressed, and um, I was in a really bad spot mentally at the time, and I was just getting out of a relationship, and it hurt my feelings a lot. Just imagining what the future could look like, and those after relationship thoughts, like, am I gonna be alone for the rest of my life? Stuff like that. It was probably pretty dramatic, but I see it in a very different light this time, and now this time I really don't want to. I see it in a way that I don't want to waste my life, and I don't want Mel to fall out of love for me. And I've been listening to "Linger" by the Cranberries this entire video, and I literally just stopped crying like less than an hour ago. Mel and I were both crying, sobbing our eyes out to each other, and yeah, this is the most I've ever cried to this movie. It was bad. Like the entire final 30 minutes of this movie, I was sobbing my eyes out, and it hurt on a way different level now. As I get older, as I become a man, I guess it has a different effect on me. So, ranked at an 86 out of 100. Up next, we have The Fast and the Furious for the 25th anniversary, which was really awesome. I had a hell of a lot of fun seeing this in theaters, seeing this on the big screen. For some reason, the audio felt kind of messed up. I meant to ask my friend Brandon about it. We went to go see it together. I don't know if he felt the same way, but the audio, like the actual like dialogue in the film was very quiet, but like everything else was quite loud. The music and the cars were loud. It's just like the actual dialogue in the movie was quite quiet. I felt like it did get louder at some point, but still, there were many moments where I honestly just it was too quiet to hear. I don't know if that was just my Cineplex or if that was the movie. I don't remember being like that when I watched it last year, but nonetheless, I love this movie. It's a lot of fucking fun. I ranked it an 89 out of 100. I thought about giving it the 4.5 star, decided not to, but it's great. It's just a lot of fun, and I love the characters in this movie. And I think this might be the hottest a cast has ever looked in any movie. I would put this up there amongst some of the greats. I don't even know what else, but like, yeah, everyone in this movie looks hot as hell. So ranked it an 89 out of 100. Now let's move on to The Odyssey, which I ranked a 91 out of 100. I took Mel's father to go see it, and we had a great time. Although we watched this at a terrible angle. My Cineplex isn't playing this in IMAX anymore. It's Spider-Man's in IMAX right now, and I'm so sad not seeing this in IMAX. And I just saw it in a regular theater, which was not ideal. And we were at like the top right corner, and we weren't even like close to being like on I guess parallel or being parallel with the screen. Like I find even in the corner, depending on how big the theater is, especially if you're in an IMAX theater, it doesn't really matter that much. But the way we were at like the very top right, basically, and it felt so far. It felt like such a small screen. It wasn't a great viewing experience. Although I did like this movie more than I did last time, and every time I've watched it, it has gone up. Started at an 87, then an 89, and now a 91 for a 4.5 star. And yeah, top five of the year right now for me. Maybe top four, might depend on the day. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's a damn good movie. All right, and let's move on to how I started the week. I believe, right? Is that right? I'm pretty sure how I started the week. My favorite watch of the week, yes, which is Your Name, which I ranked a 94 out of 100. I watched it, I think, 2 years ago now. For the first time, I ranked it, I believe, an 86 out of 100. But man, Your Name on the big screen for the 10th anniversary was mesmerizing. It was incredible. It was incredible. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It looked fantastic. I couldn't get enough of it. The animation looked absolutely genuinely amazing on the big screen. It was such a good viewing experience. The people that were in the theater with me as well, they seemed to really enjoy it. There were chuckles, there were, I don't know. It was just good. It was just a really great experience. There's a lot of anniversary movies in theaters right now. I'm sad that my Cineplex did not get Train to Busan, which is one of my favorite foreign films for the 10th anniversary. Mel and I were planning to go see La La Land for the 10th anniversary, but we just didn't get a chance to, which I'm very sad about. But tonight, I bought tickets for the 25th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which we are really looking forward to in a couple weeks. And yeah, it's a great time. This is my favorite part of film every year, getting to see these anniversary movies that I've never seen in theaters, such as Your Name and The Fast and the Furious this week for the 10th and 25th anniversary, respectively. So, yeah, anyways, I've babbled a lot and it's 12:30 and I want to go to bed. So, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.